I'm going to read a story aloud. It's a little difficult story for me to read. Anyway, it's called The King of Jazz. It's by Donald Barthelme. Well, I'm the king of jazz now, thought Hokey Mokey to himself as he oiled the side of his trombone. But now that Spicy Macklemore's The Old King is dead, I guess I'm it. Maybe I better play a few notes out of this window here, just to reassure myself. Then you hear these commentators. Wow, said somebody standing on the sidewalk. Did you hear that? I did, said his companion. Can you distinguish our great American jazz performers each from the other? Used to could. Then who was that playing? Well, that sounded like Hokey Mokey to me. Those few but perfectly selected notes have a real epiphanic glow. The what? The real epiphanic glow, such as is obtained only by artists of the caliber of Hokey Mokey. He's the king of jazz now that Spicy Macklemore is gone. So Hokey Mokey puts his trombone in his trombone case and went to the gig. At the gig, everyone fell back before him bowing. Hi Bucky, hi Zoot, hi Freddie, hi George, hi Thad, hi Roy, hi Dexter, hi Joe, hi Willie, hi Greens. Well, Mr. Hokey, what are we going to play now? You're the king of jazz. You got to decide. Hokey says, how about Smoke? Wow, everybody said. Did you hear that? Hokey Mokey can just knock a feller out just the way he pronounces a word. What an intonation on that boy. I don't want to play Smoke, somebody said. Would you repeat that, stranger? I don't want to play Smoke. Smoke is dull. I don't like the changes. I refuse to play Smoke. He refuses to play Smoke. But Hokey Mokey is the king of jazz and he says Smoke. Man, you from out of town or something? What do you mean you refuse to play Smoke? How did you get this gig anyway? Who hired you? I'm Hideo Yamaguchi from Tokyo, Japan. I'm the top trombone man in all of Japan. Well, you're welcome here until we hear you play. Okay. And we play Smoke, just like Hokey said. So they start playing. And the two men who are standing outside the window, commentators, continue to commentate. He says, good God, that's Hokey's famous English sunrise way of playing. Playing with a lot of rays coming out of it. Some red rays, some blue rays, some green stemming from a violet center, some olive stemming from a tan center. You know what? That young Japanese fellow is pretty good too. Yeah, he's good. And he holds his horn in a peculiar way that's frequently the mark of a superior player. Yeah, he's bent over like that, with his head between his knees. Good God, he's sensational. So Hokey realizes that the young Japanese fellow is sensational too. And he says, he's sensational, Hokey thought. Maybe I ought to kill him. Anyway, they continue playing another song, Billy's Bounce. And at the end of it, Hokey thinks, this trombone's been making my neck green for 35 years. And how come I got to stand up to yet another challenge so late in my life? And he says, well, Hideo? Hideo says, yes, Mr. Mokey. And so Hokey Mokey says, Hideo, you did well on both Smoke and Billy's Bounce. You are just about as good as me. In fact, I regret to say, I've decided you are better than me. It's a hideous thing to contemplate, but there it is. I've only been the king of jazz for like 24 hours, but the unforgiving logic of this art demands we bow to the truth, and when we hear it. I got ears, I'm not mistaken. Hideo Yamaguchi is the new king of jazz. So Hideo takes over and starts performing, and Hoki wants to leave the stage, but Hideo says, "Stay on, and you can play with us." And so they play Cream, which is what Hideo chooses to play. And the commentators, the two of them, continue to be part of the story. And they're listening to the performance of the Cream, and they say, Hideo is so wonderful on Cream. I imagine it is his best tune. Yes, but what is that sound coming from the side there? Which side? The left side. You mean that sound that sounds like the cutting edge of life? That sounds like polar bears crossing the Arctic ice pans? That sounds like a herd of musk ox in full flight? That sounds like male walruses diving to the bottom of the sea? That sounds like fumaroles smoking on the slopes of Mount Katmai? That sounds like the wild turkey walking through this deep, soft forest? That sounds like beavers chewing trees on an Appalachian marsh? That sounds like oyster fungus growing on an aspen trunk? That sounds like a mule deer wandering a mountain of Sierra Nevada? That sounds like prairie dogs kissing? That sounds like witchgrass tumbling or a river meandering? That sounds like manatees munching seaweed at Cape Sable? That sounds like coatimandes moving in packs across the face of Arkansas? Good God, it's Hoki. Even with the cup mute on, he's blowing Hideo right off the stand. Okay. Is Hideo alright? Hideo is on his knees now. Good God, he's reaching in his belt for a large steel sword. Stop him. Somebody get him a glass of water. So Hideo says, as he recovers, he says, Hoki, you are my man. That was the dangest thing I ever heard. You're the king of jazz once again. Yes, Mr. Hoki, sir. I have to admit it. You blew me right off the stand. I see I have many years of work and study before me still. So Hideo says, and Hoki says, well, that's okay, son. Don't think about it. It happens to the best of us. Or it almost happens to the best of us. Now I want everybody to have a good time because we're going to play, you know what? We're going to play flats. Flats is next. That's the end of the story. And it's really a story about how it's difficult to be the king in any technical world for a long time. I hope you like it.